Ford Whiskers, I love you, and I'm going to use your comment as a teaching method because I know that the American education system has failed so many. It just got worse after Generation X. So most liberals and Democrats do not like capitalism. But this is because they don't teach you that there's more than one kind of capitalism. The kind of capitalism we have in the United States is going to stay in place and is going to cause the fall of the United States. It is not the only one. Capitalism is not a bad thing as long as it is done correctly. Japan has the best functional model. It's called collective capitalism. Doesn't mean that it's perfect. It does have its faults. Basically, the way it works, you don't need to make an astronomical amount of money to go to the doctor, to get a good education, stuff like that. But now I'm going to explain this a little bit more so that you guys understand. Basically, collective capitalism balances income growth and income distribution, so that gap is way smaller. In other words, if you want to be a doctor, you're not going to be out $1 million in education. Be out, some. But at the same time, the government puts caps on what you can charge. So your surgery in this area or state, for instance, if it was us, is going to cost the exact same in Alaska. Okay? Which is what should be done. Patients, cap. Procedures, cap. X-rays, cap. CAT scans, cap. All capped. And capped at a price that the majority of the population can't afford. They can. As a doctor, you still make a shit more than most people in the country. Not like you know what I'm saying? You're not going to be poor. You're still going to be wealthy. There's just a shit ton more advantages to it. It's not going to happen in the United States because greed. Another reason why it would never work here and why U.S. is going to fail is this. Even from school, manners are taught. Respect is taught. Greed is frowned upon. The culture as a whole is just better. And their type of economy wouldn't work unless that type of education system was done here as well. Now let's jump to the example that most liberals and Dems think is the perfect example. But I'm about to open your eyes on that one. The Nordic model, Sweden, Denmark, Holland, etc. Y'all think that's the best model in the world. It's high taxes, but everything is paid for. Right? It's a small population, almost completely white. Right? Just pay more taxes and get everything free, right? Right? Yeah. Until immigration went up. That didn't show up in the news, did it? So the minute that refugees started coming in to take advantage of that system, the Nords turned into Republican Americans because their system is set up for a certain population that grows at a consistent rate. As you know, we white folks, especially there, they don't produce no bunch of children, okay? So it's a predicted rate of increase of population. When the immigrants come in, it puts an unnatural and imbalanced strain on that system because most of the immigrating cultures that are coming in, they have 5 or more children. Nothing wrong with that, but it then pulls on this type of economy the wrong way, becomes imbalanced. Because then you have this huge population that's not working, pulling on the population that is working. And so that's not going to work in the United States ever. So the bottom line is, as the USA stands today, with an oligarchy that runs the government, which is disguised as corporation. The United States is not a country. The United States is one big corporation. The citizens are not citizens, they are employees. The motto is me, more, more, more. And over half the population likes it that way. So why we ignore history, I have no idea. But the United States will fall. Period. You can look back in history and see it is going to fall. On top of just factual history, there's another compounding reason why the United States will fall. And this is going to go over the line into spiritualism. There is not 1 square foot of the United States that has not been tainted by greed or murder. If you're the person that hears that and scrolls, you are literally part of the downfall. So though many non-spiritual people don't know, Wood and rock record events. And there's not one square inch of this country that has not seen, heard, or felt the blood of greed and murder brought on by Europeans coming into the Americas. Oh, I'm not saying natives didn't fight each other, so don't try to put words in my mouth. A different fight, okay? Don't play me. Don't. After the Europeans' arrival to this day, the land has been absolutely raped. Believe me, that's okay. Less than 4% of the forests in America are original. Less than 4 fucking percent. Y'all think treating the land and the animals this way doesn't have an effect. And I'm sorry, you're wrong. Mostly because you're Christian. Explain that too. Okay, so when the Europeans came over, they used this bullshit excuse called manifest destiny. Basically, it's like God wants you to go over, whiten everything up, and Christianify everything up, and you have dominion over everything. Big ass lie. Based on a mistranslation. My previous vid. Here, I'll do it for you. Real problem here is this word right here. Dominion. That is the absolute, complete, and total wrong translation. It was translated from, I believe, Radah. Probably saying it wrong. It means to rule by going down and walking amongst everything as equals. Not over them. I haven't conquered them. You have no dominion over them. You are an equal guider. So this entire country is covered in a nasty, thick film. Horrific imbalance with the universe. Adds on to the fact that it's going to fall. Okay, so last part. If you want to know about the history about empires falling, literally Google that. How often do empires fall? See, America is right in line to fall. Well, Americans forget that America is a baby country. Infant. If you want to see how America government actually works, with receipts, you're going to want to watch this on YouTube, but you have to type in the title because it will not pop up for you because they don't want you to know. This is the documentary, Requiem for American Dream, by Noam Chomsky. Noam Chomsky is very liberal, but this is not. He's just giving you the facts of how the government works, and he provides receipts for you. He tells you how it all started, back from when the country very first started. And your eyes will be open. It's not a conspiracy, it's real. This was the last part. Bye, guys.